Welcome to Mind Decoded, where we explore the psychology behind human behavior. Let's decode today's topic. You walk into a grocery store to buy jam. The shelf has 24 varieties: strawberry, raspberry, blueberry, mixed berry, sugar-free, organic, local, imported. You stand there overwhelmed. You can't decide. Each option seems fine, but choosing means rejecting 23 others. What if you pick wrong? The decision feels too important. You leave without buying anything. Meanwhile, your friend walks into a different store. They have 3 jam options. Your friend picks one in 30 seconds. They're satisfied with their choice. They're not wondering if they missed something better. They had enough choice to feel autonomous, but not so much choice that deciding became paralyzing. This is the paradox of choice. More options should make you happier. More options mean more freedom. More freedom should increase satisfaction. But research shows the opposite. Beyond a certain point, more choices make you less happy. They create anxiety. They generate regret. They reduce satisfaction. Understanding this paradox changes how you make decisions. Today on Mind Decoded, we're breaking down the paradox of choice. Why unlimited options create paralysis. How too many choices decrease satisfaction. Why you regret decisions more when you have more options. And how constraints actually improve decision quality. Before we begin, a quick disclaimer. This content is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered medical, psychological, or mental health advice. If you're experiencing mental health concerns, please consult with a qualified mental health professional. The paradox of choice was popularized by psychologist Barry Schwartz. He conducted a famous study at a grocery store. They set up a jam tasting booth. On some days, they displayed 6 jam varieties. On other days, they displayed 24 varieties. The 24 variety display attracted more attention. 60% of shoppers stopped to look. But only 3% actually bought jam. The 6 variety display attracted less attention. Only 40% of shoppers stopped. But 30% bought jam. 10 times the purchase rate. More options attracted interest but prevented action. The overwhelming choice paralyzed people. They couldn't decide. They left without buying. Fewer options led to more purchases and more satisfaction. Here's what happens psychologically when you face too many options. First, you experience decision paralysis. With 3 options, you can compare quickly. With 30 options, comparison becomes overwhelming. Your brain freezes. You avoid deciding. Second, opportunity costs become salient. Choosing one option means rejecting all others. With 30 options, you reject 29. Each rejected option feels like a loss. Third, you raise your expectations. With limited options, you accept that perfection isn't available. With unlimited options, you believe the perfect choice exists. But perfect doesn't exist, so you're disappointed. Fourth, you experience more regret. When your choice doesn't work out perfectly, you wonder if one of the other 29 options would have been better. Research by Sheena Iyengar shows this applies across domains. She studied retirement plans. Companies offering 2 plan options had 75% participation. Companies offering 59 options had 60% participation. More choices meant fewer people engaged. She studied college courses. Students with limited options were more satisfied with their choices. Students with unlimited options constantly wondered if they should have taken something else. The paradox appears in relationships too. In areas with more dating options, people report lower relationship satisfaction. They're always wondering if someone better is available. Here's why this happens neurologically. Your prefrontal cortex can only process limited information simultaneously. Comparing 3 options is manageable. Comparing 30 options exceeds your cognitive capacity. You experience mental overload. Decision quality declines. Additionally, humans are loss-averse. Choosing feels like losing all rejected options. The more options you reject, the greater the psychological loss. 3 rejections hurt less than 29 rejections. So what do you do about this? First, recognize when you're experiencing choice overload. If you're spending more than 5 minutes comparing similar options, you have too many choices. Second, artificially constrain your options. Don't evaluate all 30 jams. Pick 3 based on simple criteria. Price under $5. Local brand. Top rated. Choose among those. Third, satisfice instead of maximizing. Satisficing means choosing the first option that meets your criteria. Maximizing means finding the absolute best option. Satisficers are happier. Maximizers are miserable. Set a threshold. I need jam that tastes good and costs less than $6. Pick the first one that meets your threshold. Done. Fourth, limit your research time. Give yourself 30 minutes to research. Then decide. More information doesn't improve decision quality beyond a certain point. Fifth, make irreversible decisions when possible. Reversibility increases regret. When you can't return something, you commit psychologically. You focus on the positive aspects. Sixth, focus on what you chose, not what you rejected. After deciding, deliberately ignore other options. Don't browse alternatives. This prevents regret. Here's what the paradox costs you. Decision paralysis. You avoid making choices because comparing overwhelms you. Important decisions get delayed indefinitely. You're stuck. Reduced satisfaction. Even when you choose, you're less happy with your choice. You wonder if something else would have been better. You can't enjoy what you have because you're thinking about what you don't have. Opportunity cost obsession. You focus on what you gave up rather than what you gained. Every choice feels like a loss because you're rejecting so much. Increased regret. When anything goes wrong with your choice, you blame yourself. You should have picked one of the other options. You should have researched more. You should have known better. Lower commitment. When you have unlimited options, you don't commit fully to your choices. You keep one foot out. You maintain backup options. This prevents deep satisfaction with anything. Now let's talk about when choice is good. Some choice is essential. Zero choice is imprisonment. 2 to 3 good options in most domains is ideal. Enough to feel autonomous. Not so many that deciding becomes overwhelming. The optimal number depends on complexity. For simple decisions like jam, 3 to 6 options is ideal. For complex decisions like careers, 10 to 15 might be appropriate. But past the optimal number, every additional option decreases satisfaction. The relationship between choice and satisfaction is an inverted U-curve. Here's how to structure choices in your life. For routine decisions, create defaults. Don't choose what to eat for breakfast daily. Have 3 go-to breakfasts. Rotate between them. Eliminate hundreds of breakfast decisions annually. For purchases, identify your top 3 criteria before shopping. Price, quality, brand, whatever matters to you. Filter options based on criteria. Only evaluate items that pass all 3 filters. This typically leaves you with 3 to 5 options. Perfect for decision making. For major life decisions, limit your active options. If you're job searching, don't apply to 50 positions. Pick your top 5. Focus on those. If none work out, pick 5 more. But don't try to evaluate 50 opportunities simultaneously. For relationships, recognize that unlimited options prevent commitment. If you're constantly browsing dating apps looking for someone better, you'll never be satisfied. Choose someone good. Commit. Stop looking. Satisfaction comes from commitment, not from having more options. Practical applications. When buying anything online, look at the top 3 to 5 results. The algorithm already sorted by relevance. Pick one. When choosing restaurants, use a simple rule. Highest rated within 2 miles. First one that meets this criterion wins. When picking what to watch, give yourself 5 minutes. If you haven't chosen, pick the first thing that looked interesting. When considering lifestyle changes, evaluate 3 approaches maximum. Pick 3. Try one for a month. The paradox of choice explains why minimalists report higher satisfaction. Fewer possessions mean fewer choices. Fewer choices mean less decision fatigue. Less decision fatigue means more mental energy for what matters. They're not smarter. They're not more disciplined. They're just not overwhelmed by options. You're not indecisive because you're weak. You're indecisive because you're overwhelmed by choice. Reduce your options deliberately. Set decision rules. Satisfice instead of maximize. Make irreversible commitments. Protect yourself from the paradox. Your satisfaction will increase immediately. Next time on Mind Decoded, we're exploring a cognitive trap that keeps you stuck in failing situations. Sunk cost fallacy. Why you keep investing in projects just because you've already invested. How your brain conflates past costs with future value. And how to make better decisions by ignoring what you've already spent. Don't miss it. And that's how the mind works. If this helped you understand yourself better, subscribe for weekly psychology insights. Thanks for watching.